Alright you guys, so today we'll be playing Chop Suey by System of a Down. And I know everyone and their mother has already done a Chop Suey tutorial, but continuity wise I have to make this one. So thanks a lot for watching and being here. So let's take a look at the song. This song is obviously in drop C tuning, which is hosted down from your standard tuning and a step further on the 6th string. Alright. And the notes are D, A, F, C, G, and C again. Alright. So I just wanted to mention, production-wise, this is one of the most overproduced system songs, and it's got a lot of shit going on. So we'll take a look at what we can replicate with our guitars in a live scenario, kinda, sort of way. So yeah, that being said, let's take a look at the intro, which we'll split in three guitar parts, starting with this acoustic part, which goes a little something like this. I just kept it short on that last part, but those are the only variations that exist for that guitar part. So what's going on here is we have a little drone note here, being this G, open G, alright, in the 5th string, and we're playing 4 chords around that. So the chords are G minor, A minor, F major, and D sharp major, alright? So as I said, we have this little drone note that goes in between those chords. So let's take a look at those chords. Keep this in mind. The root is on the 4th string, and the 3rd, being that we're playing 3rd chords, it's in the 3rd string. So yeah, keep that one in mind once I said the fret numbers at least. So G minor is here in the 7th and 5th fret respectively, so for the 4th and 3rd string, so with the drone note. Alright, so 7th, 5th, A sharp being the 3rd. Alright, A minor now, shout out to Kevin Spacey by the way, not really. So A minor here, 9th and 7th fret, C here being the minor 3rd, F major, 5th and 4th string, 5th and 4th fret part, A being the 3rd, and D sharp major, 3rd and 2nd fret, G being the 3rd. Alright, so slowly. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that there's that little slide between the G minor and A minor. That one. And yeah, that's the only particularity of that one. So that's that guitar. And then we get to the other guitar that's playing the same notes, the root and the 3rd, just alternating between those. It's just an electric guitar with a little gain, and goes a little something like this. No magic here. Sorry. But by the second half of basically the 3rd bar, it changes the rhythm and starts playing the following. Alright, so basically slowly. So that rhythm. And then we have another guitar starting from the 3rd bar, which I'm pretty sure that in studio it's 2 guitars playing a single note, and then they make them sound together, obviously play together. But obviously I don't have 4 arms in another guitar. Well, I do, but yeah, whatever. So what's going on here? Let's take a look at that other guitar part. Basically, it's playing a third octave. It starts in the third bar and goes a little something like this. Alright, something like that. As I said, I'm pretty sure it's two guitars playing just a single note, because if you pay attention to the isolated guitar track, the picking pattern is different between notes of that guitar in particular. It could be just Daring being sloppy, because that's the way he plays. He's not very precise. I obviously love the guy, but yeah, he's not that accurate of a guitar player. So it could be that, but I'm pretty sure it's just two guitars. So keeping that in mind, I'll teach you how to play that. It's obviously third chords. I'll teach you how to play that in basically just in one guitar arrangement. So basically, the other guitar will move the root here to the second string and the third to the first string. All right, so it starts again in G minor, so 10th and 8th fret, A minor, so 12th and 10th fret, F major, all right, so 8th and 7th fret, and then instead of going to D sharp, it moves to A sharp major, all right, so 13th and 12th fret, D being the third major, all right, and then it stays in the A sharp major here again, goes to C minor, 15th and 13th fret, then goes back to A minor, yep, 12th and 10th, and returns to C minor, 15th and 10th, and stays here. And that's how it closes, basically. So that's the intro. Slowly goes a little something like that guitar part. Because I'm fucking freezing. So yeah, let's take a look now at the main riff, which I've never actually heard this pattern being implemented this way and being played this way in another song. Let's be honest, it's a masterpiece, this song. So this is why these little parts, these little particularities make it so, unique. So let's take a look at the main riff, which is split in two parts. All together goes a little something like this. Something like that. So basically what's going on here is we're playing this little half step kind of chromatic pattern, basically alternating between two notes that are pretty much half step apart. So starting in we're playing power chords, 5th and 6th string, all right? So G sharp G is the first pattern, all right, 8th and 7th fret, all right, G F sharp, all right, 7th and 6th fret, A sharp and A, all right, 10th and 9th fret, and C and A sharp, all right, 12th and 10th fret. Slowly. All right, there's a little bit of palm mute in that little pattern, just to add a little punch. It's in the first note, so all right, but it's just very little. It's almost non-existent, but it's right there. So that's the first half, and then the second half we're basically playing single notes, no power chord, no nothing, just the single string, starting in G, F sharp, A, and C. So 7th fret, 6th fret, of the 6th string obviously, 9th fret, and 12th fret. Alright, so that's basically the main riff. Then we get to the verse, which is basically the same as the main riff, just the G sharp G and G F sharp. All right, so all right, something like that. So basically that little pattern just keeps it stays with Serge's vocals. So wake up, grab a brush, pull, little makeup. All right, so all right, hopefully that makes sense. And it closes basically from G sharp, G, F sharp. All right, so all right, so and goes straight to the chorus. So hopefully that made sense. And now we'll take a look at the chorus, which basically it's the same notes as the acoustic guitar in the intro, but with basically we're playing arpeggios, which goes a little something like this. All right, so yeah, let's take a look at the arpeggio pattern a little bit, because it changes in the second half, the second time we play this chorus, just one note. But yeah, let's take a look at this pattern here. So that's the pattern on the chorus, the first half, the first part. All right, then there's another guitar playing the third octave of the guitar, and it's basically playing the first part of that guitar in the intro. So basically it goes sort of something like this. So notes being G minor, A minor, F, and A sharp. All right, just like in the intro. So yeah, that's the first chorus. Then it goes to this little post-chorus, which is exactly just like the main riff first part, but it's got a little different closer. All right, so it goes a little something like this. All right, so it stays in the G sharp G. All right, and it enters right away into the verse. All right, so that's basically the post-chorus. Then we get to the verse again. One thing I wanted to mention of the verse, you want to add a little fretting hand mute right by the pause. So you release basically slightly the note, so it mutes the string, and it doesn't bleed out some of the dead notes that the gain might actually ramp up a little bit. So hopefully that makes sense. Wanted to mention that. Then we get to the second chorus, which is pretty much the same for one of the guitars, except for basically the pattern. It goes a little something like this. If you remember, I said the first one went a little something like this. All right, but the second time we remove the first open G, so instead of we do all right, so hopefully that made sense. And then the second guitar actually starts playing by the second repetition of that chorus, when it starts, not sure how to what word I want to use, but you know what I mean. It starts to get ready for the bridge. The guitar starts playing the last part of the intro. So and it rings the C minor. So the notes are A sharp major, A minor, and C minor, and it lets ring the C minor. All right, and obviously in the other guitar, the previous guitar, it lets ring the D sharp right by the bridge, right when it enters the bridge. So let's take a look at the bridge now. Hopefully that the other part made sense. So the bridge, it's basically the main riff, but it repeats, and the second time it actually adds palm mute, so it goes sort of something like this. That's the father part. So yeah, it just very heavy palm mute by that part. So all right, so hopefully that made sense. Then it gets back to main riff part 2. So that, and then we have this closer, which is just 3 power chords. All right, so it starts with G power chord, 5th and 6th string, 7th fret. Sorry. And then let me show you how it goes first. Something like that. I'm pretty sure I'm kind of out of tune here. So yeah, basically G power chord, 7th fret, 5th and 6th string, and then we have D sharp here in the 5th and string, 8th fret, and 10th fret of the 4th string, and then we have this A sharp power chord, 5th and 6th string, 10th fret, back to D sharp and G. And I did that little arrangement, something like that. He changes it, but it's not in the studio version. It's just something he does live, something like that. Just if you want to know what's going on, basically you start playing octaves in D sharp to something, not sure what you might want to go to, F, something between the notes that we already played. So F, G, A sharp. So yeah, that little live arrangement, just as a little tip, and basically just closes by. We're just playing once the chord. Just let's ring the G power chord by the end. So yeah, that's Chop Suey, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time.